Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Advu Yad Revival podcast, where we're bringing you all things Iris. Today, we're going to be talking about two of the feature films that Iris had on today, and they are Departures and Sisters. But first, we're going to see a little bit of the Q&A for Sisters.
It was a process, yeah. There was like an early sort of ill-fated version. Once we hit on the sister concept, then it kind of all blew wide open, and yeah, the pieces fell into place, and it became what it is. I wrote the lead parts for me and Sarah, and then a lot of the cast I met through her. She's a comedian in real life, I'm sure you could tell, and she's really entrenched in the sketch and improv scene in LA, which has a lot of really amazing up-and-coming comedians. So that's how we met Kosser, who played Priya. That's how a lot of the cast came to be, was through her in the comedy scene. I haven't thought that far with this project specifically, but I definitely have plans to keep working with Sarah and a lot of the people involved. Yeah, I think that will be a long-term working relationship in whatever iteration it takes. I'm bi, queer, fluid, whatever you want to call it, and I think as a like more mask presenting person under that umbrella, I sometimes felt like a freak growing up and in my 20s and stuff, presenting this way but still having some degree of sexual fluidity. And I think that would have been less the case if I saw more people that looked like me proudly proclaiming that. It was definitely a learning experience. I think it took a few days to get the hang of. I think the first few days on set, I was just like so overwhelmed. I was like frozen. But yeah, I think it actually ended up feeling a lot more natural than I thought it would, specifically with directing myself as an actor too.
That was really great to hear from Susie in that Q&A. Sisters was such a great film. I personally really, really enjoyed it. It was a really good, touching story about how when blood family can let you down, you can still have your friends there to support you, and sometimes that means more. That feels more like a family, and it was just a really beautifully shot film, especially for one that was with such a micro budget, as Susie mentioned in the Q&A. And clearly a lot of thought and effort went into making Sisters, and I was just really lucky to have seen it and be able to talk to her after the film. That was really wonderful. But today, talking about Departures with me is Logan. Hi, Logan. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So Departures is a film that I know that you were very interested in, and you got to see it yesterday. So how did you feel?
I feel great about it. It actually surpassed the expectations I had for it. I mean, it's a film about a gay man named Benji,
Mm-hmm.
and his struggles getting over a guy he met on a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
The film is quite like jumpy about its time frame. It jumps back to the past, and then it's sort of him trying to get over the trauma that he had from that relationship and move on, and taking us with him on that journey of acceptance of what happened. And it's quite beautiful in the way that it sets up losing someone, but not in the death way, more in the, the breakup.
Yeah.
And even if that person was terrible, how it still hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with him going on like a little personal holiday. He just wants to go to the Netherlands, and he's drinking at the bar at the airport, and that's where he meets Jake,
Mm-hmm.
this guy, and he sees him and is like, oh, he's really handsome,
Uh-huh.
and they go on this trip together. They end up spending a lot of time together because they're both going on solo trips, and the entire time Benji's just fingers crossed, hoping that this guy's gay.
Yeah.
So that he can get with him.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's talking about women throughout the holiday in a way that was not apparently gay.
Mm-hmm.
To which Benji's like, please, just be a little bit.
Yeah.
Eventually, they end up getting together,
Mm-hmm.
but only on the holiday.
Okay.
And it then becomes a regular thing where they go to Amsterdam, and it becomes hidden, and it becomes more apparent that whilst Benji's quite open and out there with his sexuality, Jake doesn't quite accept that he is, and still tries to hide it away,
Yeah.
as if it's like a dirty secret.
Yeah.
And as the film goes on, it just increases in toxicity, and
Yeah.
the relationship starts to melt down, and Benji obviously wants more,
Mm-hmm.
but Jake still wants it hidden, and this is something that needs to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
And warning, spoiler, but it becomes then later apparent that Jake actually had a partner at home,
Oh.
a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling her, "Oh, I'm going on these business trips. I'm going on business trips to Amsterdam," and obviously to cheat.
Yeah.
But as the film goes on, it's just about acceptance and moving on past that person and all of the bad people in your past, because it shows that Benji's never had a good
Yeah.
relationship. But I think it really gets onto the point of the grief of a relationship and how hard it can be to get over someone.
Mm-hmm.
And Benji falls into drink and just a deep depression, not wanting to do anything. And it shows his mother and his best friend trying to be there for him, but he just closes himself away.
Yeah.
And through reliving these events, he eventually moves on and finds someone else, and they go their separate ways, and nothing bad happens of Jake, but it's made very clear that what he did was wrong. But Benji doesn't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
He can just focus on moving on himself. And I just thought that was quite a beautiful message. And I mean, the film was layered with quite like dark comedy, and
Yeah.
it was told in a way that I felt was quite clever.
Mm-hmm.
And with the jumping back and forth, it was quite fourth wall breaking,
Mm-hmm.
with Benji narrating most of the story.
Okay.
And there would be these on-screen little chalk drawings and stuff around the characters and the text that's being written, which I thought was quite a little... It's just a nice little detail
Yeah.
that really elevated the story and the comedy. And I thought that it was a very big change of pace on some of the other films that I've seen, and
Mm-hmm.
toxicity in relationships is something that happens no matter what.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it
that
definitely does.
It happens over any relationship. It doesn't matter who you're with. It can happen. And for a film to reflect that and show how bad things can get, but it can always get better,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lovely message.
It sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like it had a good journey throughout, and a good look at like internalized homophobia and things like that. Like, yeah, toxicity towards like yourself, internalized hate,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think a very interesting look at that. But yeah, was there anything specific about Departures that drew you to it initially?
When I was looking through the films and the programs, I was sort of wading through to find things that piqued my interest. But when I was reading the description of the film, I saw that it was about that toxicity, and I thought, wow, that's a really bold move.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for the film in general, but Iris to have that film and have that message there, but also that the writer, director, producer, and main star were all the same person.
Oh yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
to have someone so connected to the story, and I mean, there's a little message at the start that basically says that the film was made in spite of those people that have messed up in that person's past,
Mm-hmm.
and it was almost like a way of moving on for them, and it was Lloyd Morgan, and he sort of used the film as a way to push past his own past
Mm-hmm.
and the struggles that he may have had, and I thought that sort of personal connection, when a film is being made, when the person who's making it has such a direct link to it, I find that the story can always be more richer because it's through personal experience,
Yeah.
through personal pain, and I find that to be
They can truly convey it. Yeah.
yeah. And I just think that that's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it was a really good watch, really interesting. Yeah, really well put together. I think both of the films where I think there's probably a lot of similarities between the two. I mean, there's of course the fact that Susie Yankou directed, produced, and starred in Sisters as well. So that's a very interesting parallel that I didn't realize. But yeah, thank you so much for coming and talking about Departures with me.
Thank
This
you.
is a great conversation. And thank you so much for watching the Advocate Revival podcast, which is brought to you by the Performance and Media students in association with the Iris Prize Film Festival here at the University of South Wales.